Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Gurur Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Om Namaste friends, a warm welcome to session 9 of Drik, Drishya, Viveka. This has been an amazingly enlightening text. Though it contains only 46 verses, it has included and analyzed so many aspects of Vedanta and in such a systematic way. So we're blessed to be studying the Drik, Drishya, Viveka. After understanding that whatever we see, or rather, the multiple seers that are involved in whatever we see. And today, where we're going to realize that who we are is not just one person, but there are three people who are existing within us. Let us enjoy today's session, where our speakers, Dr. Anupama Shetty ma'am, Dr. Sandhya Ravi ma'am, Dr. Rekha Kumar ma'am, and Srimati Shamla Shetty ma'am will explain verses 33 to 36. Now I invite our moderator, our guru, Dr. Timappa Hegde sir, to please lead us into the session.
Thank you, Panaga. Tadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Pariyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Om. As Panaga mentioned, few texts have the ability to bring about as much transformation as Drik, Drishya, Viveka can do in our own understanding of Brahma Vidya. I remember listening to Drik, Drishya, Viveka from Swamy Paramarthika when he finally concluded the teaching. And on the last day, when the teaching was over, he wondered, now, if this does not succeed, then what? He paused for a while and he said, okay, we'll study another text. So we have finished one part of Drik, Drishya, Viveka. In the first part of Drik, Drishya, Viveka, we studied Seer 1, Seer 2, and Seer 3. Seer 1 from the sense organs, Seer 2 the mind, and Seer 3 is Atma. That means whenever I'm seeing any object, a small exercise we can do wherever we are. I'm seeing so many objects. How do I see? Because of my eyes. My eyes are able to see because my mind is awake. My mind is able to see because my mind is blessed by that power which we call consciousness, Atma, Brahman, or Sakshi. Pratibodha viditam matam. In every experience, Vedanta tells us to come in touch with that infinite principle, which Sri Krishna says, Kshetrajnam chapi mam vidhi sarva kshetreshu bharata. That one common principle in all of us, because of which we are alive, because of which we are able to function, that is seer number 3. Now, Vidyaranya Swami now brings in a new entity. The same things can be seen as Jiva 1, Jiva 2, and Jiva 3. Now, Jiva 1 is Pratibhasika. Jiva 1 is Paramarthika. That is the seer number 3 now becomes Jiva 1, the original consciousness. Right now, we are all conscious in this relative world. We're able to see this is the Vyavaharika Prapancha that becomes Jiva number 2 or Vyavahara Jiva. Then when we go to the dream world, we have what is called the Pratibhasika Jiva. So let us look at one nice example to see the three jivas, which can also be called Sat in a relative terms. There is only one absolute Sat, that is the Paramarthika, original consciousness. But right now you are listening to me, you're awake. That is also a relative form of Satyam. And when we are in the dream world, that is also real. So let us see one example which we all know. This is a famous story, but in this famous story, we'll be able to bring about the three Vyavaharika Satyam, Pratibhasika Satyam, and the Paramarthika Satyam, and the three jivas that come in all the three experiences. The story is of King Janaka having a good Sunday afternoon lunch, and then he decides to go to sleep. And in that afternoon nap, he has a very intense dream. And in that dream, he sees himself as a beggar, going from place to place, struggling for food. Uh, no food is available. He becomes a beggar, struggling for food, actually, because he has been dethroned by an enemy and he's running away from his own capital. His life has been spared. He's hungry. Now, in his hunger, he's looking for food. And then finally, he sees a large line of people waiting for some food. The moment he gets some amount of food, it seems a bird comes and knocked off his plate, and there is no food. And in the impact of the bird coming and knocking off that bowl in his hand, he wakes up. And when he wakes up, he wonders whether that beggar, was that real? Because my experiences of being hungry and looking for food was real, or am I King Janaka in a palace with all the comforts? And this became such a deep question that everybody thought King Janaka was mad. वो सत है या ये सत है? Is that real? That experience that I had as a beggar, is that real? Or am now King Janaka with all the luxury, is this real? Nobody could answer. And when people thought he was going mad, it is said that the great Ashtavakra comes to the court and he addresses this question. He says both of them are not as real as something else which is called the Paramarthika Satya. And through Brahma Vidya and through Vedanta Vichara, he is able to bring him to the Paramarthika Satya. So in today's class, we will look at the three realities. What is this Paramarthika Satyam, or the absolute reality? We can also call it the highest or the ultimate, or that reality which never undergoes any change. If you look at your own body, mind, you will see. I always use this expression of looking at your photograph when you're a 4-year-old boy or a 4-year-old girl. Your body has changed, your mind has changed, but something that has never changed. There is something in me that never undergoes any change during waking, dream, deep sleep. That which is the Paramarthika Satyam. The word Parama means highest, Artha means the goal, and the ultimate goal of all Vedanta is to be able to discover the Paramarthika Satyam and to be established in it. And in this Paramarthika Satyam, there is no other. That means there is nothing to experience. There is no body, there is no world. This is pure consciousness of Satchit Ananda. This is what we call as liberation or moksha. And perhaps the nearest way we get this kind of experience is the experience of deep sleep. Then comes the Vyavaharika Satya, or the transactional reality that we all live in. Because we are all in this Vyavaharika Satya, we understand what it means to be able to do this transaction. I'm speaking, you're listening. This is a transaction. This is governed by cause and effect. It is governed by logic. This is where we call Ishvara Shrishti is there. And this is where we have Jwara and Anujwara. Now, because of the aging process, sickness, there is a certain experience that I go through as a body. But because I have a mind and the mind is able to project what happens, am I having a serious disease? And this is what is called Anujvara. And these are the problems of the Vyavaharika Satya. We all have experienced a dream reality which is absolutely real while we are going through that. And that is what is called the Pratibhasika Satyam, the apparent reality or the illusory reality. Now, this example is also that of the rope snake. The projected snake on the rope is also the example of the Pratibhasika Satyam. Now, this is negated by awakening or through knowledge, as happens in the rope snake example. So ultimately, we have these three realities, and as in the famous word of Kathopanishad, Uttishtata Jagrata. Our job is to wake up and sit up. Prapya Varan Nibodata. And this is possible only through the help of a guru. And fortunately, we have the great Acharya, Swamy Paramarthananda. And let us begin a look into Drik, Drishya, Viveka once again from this background of the three jivas and the three realities. The opening verse will be by Dr. Anupama. Dr. Anupama, please.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Thank you, sir. We are starting with verse 33, which goes like this. Avachedaha kalpitaha syad avachedyam tu vastavam tasmin jivatvam aropad brahmatvam tu swabhavataha. As we have already been familiar with the three seers, the three driks, the sakshi called seer 3, the mind seer 2, and the sense organs seer 1, Vidyaranya Swami now introduces us to the three jivas. The seer 3, the original consciousness of sakshi, is here called the Paramarthika Jiva 1, which with the Maya, Vikshepa Shakti of Maya, projects the Vyavaharika Jiva 2, which experiences the Vyavaharika Prapancha. When this Jiva 2, the Vyavaharika Jiva, goes into Swapna Avastha, with its Swapna Shakti, it projects, with its Nidra Shakti, it projects the Pratibhasika Jiva 3, which experiences the Pratibhasika Prapancha. Now, this Jiva 1, or original consciousness, is also called the Bimba Chaitanyam, and here it is called Avachinna Chaitanyam or Avachedyam. We know it is Satya, Nitya, Sarvagata, and therefore Vastavam. The Aham of Aham Brahma Asmi refers to Jiva 1. Jiva 2, here the original consciousness manifests in the body-mind complex as Chidabhasa, or the reflected consciousness, which is called Avacheda. This is just a Vesha or avatara of the original consciousness, the Jiva 1, created by the Vikshepa Shakti of Maya, but it is limited to the domain of the mind, the reflecting medium. And it experiences the Vyavaharika or Jagrat Prapancha, being called the Vyavaharika Jiva within the Vyavaharika Shariram. The Jiva 3. When this Jiva 2 starts dreaming in Swapnavastha, a dream world is experienced by this new Jiva 3, which has its own body-mind complex. And how does this body-mind complex and world come into existence? It is through the Nidra Shakti, which creates a Pratibhasika Chidabhasa, Pratibhasika Shariram, and also the Swapna Prapancha. On waking up from sleep, all these resolve, the Pratibhasika Shariram, Chidabhasa, and Prapancha. Similarly, when the Vyavaharika mind resolves, all the three, the Vyavaharika Shariram, Chidabhasa, and Vyavaharika Prapancha resolve, and we experience Shushupti Avastha. We have heard in Dasha Shloki, Shushuptau Nirastati Shunyatmakatvat Tat Eko Vashishtaha Shiva Keva Loham. And who's this Shiva? The Jiva I. When does this Paramarthika Jiva resolve? Never. Being Advaita Brahman, there is no corresponding Paramarthika Prapancha. Yatra na anyat pashyati, na anyat shrunoti, na anyat vijnati sa bhuma. Paramarthika Jiva is Vastavam, and there is only one indivisible consciousness in which everything exists. The nature of this Paramarthika Jiva 1 is here described as seemingly limited, something like pot space. By what? By avachetaha, the body which acts as an enclosure. Avachetaha kalpita syad. But remember, this body is mithya, it is mahikam, whereas Jiva 1 is vastavam. Avachedyam is vastavam. Can a mithya body limit the vastavam Jiva 1 or Chit? No. Limitation here only belongs to the enclosure and is aropad, or falsely transferred to the consciousness. In Gaudapadacharya's Karika, we have seen him trying to prove no jiva srishti by taking the example of space or akasha. Here, Mahakasha was compared to Paramatma and Ghatakasha to Jivatma. We know that both Ghatakasha and Mahakasha are Vastavam, but Ghatha is Mayikam. Can this Ghatha, the Mayikam pot, limit Akasha? No. Similarly, body-mind complex does not limit the Paramarthika Jiva. Therefore, Avachedaha does not limit Avachedyam. Therefore, I, the consciousness, the Jiva 1, have two Veshas or avatars, the Vyavaharika Jiva 2 and the Pratibhasika Jiva 3. But as original consciousness, do I have any problems? No. Therefore, acknowledge that Brahma Tattvam tu Swabhavataha, when Sadha, just as heat and fire. Conclusion being, body cannot limit consciousness, and consciousness belongs to a higher order of reality. Therefore, claim the Paramarthika Jiva, not the Vyavaharika. Put on the Vesha of Vyavaharika Jiva. There is no need to remove this Vesham, but just remember, Vesham is Vesham, and this Vesham will not cause samsara. This is Jivan Mukti, and life becomes a Leela. In the words of Ramana Maharshi, Vesha Hanataha Swatma Darshanam. When I disidentify from Jivas 2 and 3, I realize I am Jiva 1. And who is this Jiva 1? Isha Darshanam Swatma Rupataha. My Swarupa, I realize now, is Vastavam Brahma. Thank you.
That was very good. In one verse explanation, we have in just the entire Vedanta. Worth going through it once again. But the subsequent speakers are also going to speak about the same thing, so I'm not going to elaborate. Dr. Sandhya, please.
Hariyo Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. So this verse 34 of Drik, Drishya, Viveka belongs to the summary section, which further talks about the recognition of the original consciousness within the jiva, and it will help us employ discrimination and passion, Viveka and Vairagya, to come out of bondage. Chanting this verse, Avachnasya jivasya purnena brahmanikatam tattvamasyaadi vyakyani jagurnetara jivayoho. So Avachnasya jivasya is the Paramarthika Jiva that we just heard, which is Purnam and it is infinite and it is one with Brahman. And the Mahavakyas of the Upanishads, Tattvamasi Ityadi Vyakani, are the ones which reveal this and also reveal that Itara Jiva Yoho, the other two Jiva, are not one with. Next slide, sir. Every individual consists of three Jivas. We've just heard the Paramarthika Jiva, which is the consciousness, the Vyavaharika Jiva, RC1, and Pratibhasika Jiva, RC2. We can refer to any of these three with context. So Paramarthika Jiva is always existent. It belongs to a higher order of reality enclosed. It is Brahma Swabhava. It's its very nature. We have seen about the Vyavaharika and Pratibhasa also being a lower reality, and the reflected consciousness which is available in the waking state in Jagrat Prapancha and the Swapna Sharira dream state. The very same original consciousness reflected in the mind has a limitation. That is the mortality associated with Jivatva. So this leads to misconception and mainly because of the proximity of the original consciousness and the reflected consciousness. During Shushupti, we are one with our Paramarthika Jiva, or the original consciousness, but we don't know that fact. And it's only Shastra which can reveal that to us. So the question comes, when this Brahman? Next slide, sir. Swamy Paramarthananda says, an aspiring spiritual aspirant should never ask that question, because that's our very own nature. Aham Brahmasmi. Need to visualize I am the original consciousness, I'm limitless, and the reflection of this consciousness is dependent on the presence of my mind. So the example of viewing one's own face given. Can we see our own face? We can never ever. We look at it in a mirror, we look at pictures of ourselves, but it is never truly objectifiable. Despite not being objectifiable, its existence cannot be disputed. There is no doubt that it exists. And the Mahavakya Pramanam alone will help us know this existence of the original consciousness. And the other instruments, the Karendriyas, Jnanendriyas, only will talk about the matter. Next, sir. So this only instrument that can reveal is the Mahavakya Pramanam, that is Tattvam Asi. What does it reveal? Jaguhu is revealed. What it reveals? It reveals that we are one with that infinite Brahman, Purna Brahman, which is free from limitations and which is all pervading. It is, as mortal individuals, very difficult to accept that we are all pervading, we are limitless, we are one with Brahman, because we only relate to the Vyavaharika Jiva or the Pratibhasika Jiva. It seems quite incongruous for us to say we are limitless, we are all pervading, especially when we are in this bird-ridden samsara of aging and sickness, the problems that come with it. So the only way out, how do we then come out of this? The only way out is to withdraw from this Vyavahara and Pratibhasika Jivas and identify with the Paramarthika Jiva, which is Tvam Padartha Lata. Because the Shastras do not reveal that this Vyavaharika and Pratibhasika are one with Brahman. Itaro Jivayo Brahmana Ekatam Na Jaguhu. So this is the only way, identifying with the Paramarthika Jiva and withdrawing from the Vyavaharika and the Pratibhasika Jivas is the way that we will move along our spiritual path to attain Jivanmukti and Videhamukti. Hari Om. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sandhya. A very nice explanation of a verse which helps us to understand how do I know that I am that Paramarthika Jiva, which is limitless. And that is possible only when I have a prepared mind. And that prepared mind goes through sadhana chatustaya sampanna. And when that mind is prepared, and when the teacher knows that the student is ready, that is when the teacher gives you the Mahavakya, Tat Tvam Asi. That is the only way. Dr. Rekha, please.
Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Verse 35 continues in the same vein. Can I have the first slide, please? The one before. Yes. Brahmanya Pastita Maya Vikshepa Avriti Rupini Avritya Khandatam Tasmin Jagat Jivau Prakalpai. Next slide, please. So we have learned at length about the Paramarthika Jiva I, which is identical with Purnam Brahman. So now the author imagines how the Pratibhasika and Vyavaharika Jivas arose from Brahman or me. Now, as our Guru, Swami Paramarthananda, teaches us in a very simple story-like fashion. Let us imagine a state without Pratibhasika and Vyavaharika Prapanchas. So only I, the Paramarthika Jiva 1, the Brahman, I alone was there. And I was getting bored, is what he says. So what do I decide to do? I decide to use my special power called Maya Shakti. And using the Maya Shakti, I, the Paramarthika Jiva, project a dream. And this dream is the physical body and the physical universe. Then after that, what do I do? To enjoy that dream, I have to come down. Again, we're talking about I, the Paramarthika. I have to come down and identify with this Vyavaharika body and the Vyavaharika Prapancha as the Vyavaharika Jiva. Next slide, please. Brahmanya Vastita Maya. So there is a Maya, cosmic Nidra sleep power called Mahashushupti. We know Maya or Avidya is located in Brahmani Paramarthika Jiva, the original consciousness of Brahman. This Maya in me has twofold powers, Vikshepa, Avriti, Rupini. So what are these two powers? The Vikshepa Shakti and the Avarana Shakti. The Vikshepa Shakti is the projecting power. So reiterating, I the Paramarthika Jiva, who is infinite, I generate both the world as well as the body. And therefore, Tasmin, upon me, that is again the Paramarthika Jiva, Brahman, upon the real I, Jagat Jivau Prakalpaye. I project a Jiva, a Vyavaharika Jiva associated with the Vyavaharika Chidabhasa, the Stula Sukshma Shariram. Next slide, please. So not only do I project the Jiva, the Jagat Vyavaharika Prapancha also is projected by me. Always remembering that I am the original consciousness or the Paramarthika Jiva. But what is the tragedy? The tragedy is that I, in this present form, I never accept the fact that I have projected there. Exactly as in a dream, the dreamer will never accept that the dream world is projected by himself, the waker. The dreamer does not know or recognize the waker, which is his own higher nature. Tasmin, therefore, upon Brahman, the Paramarthika Jiva, the higher I have projected both. And not only that, the very same Maya or Avidya has, in Swamiji's words, committed a mischief, and that is called a Khandatam Avritya. Maya has made me forget that I am in reality the Paramarthika Jiva. Next slide, please. Akhandata means divisionlessness, infinitude, purnatva. So akhandatam avritya, avritya means avaranam. So this makes me forget my higher nature because I'm immersed in this dream world. This dream biography, these dream problems are so overwhelming that I don't even have time to listen to the Shastra, which tries to tell us to wake up. Uttishtata Jagrata Prapya Vara Nibodhata. Shastra keeps telling us, you are seeing a nightmarish dream. Wake up. But I refuse to wake up. And all this is because of the Avarana Shakti of Maya, the veiling power. And this Maya is actually a part of me. Next slide, please. Next slide. Therefore, Jagat Jivau Prakalpait Akhandatam Avritya. So Akhandatam Avritya is the job, is what Avarana Shakti does. Jagat Jivau Prakalpait is what Vikshepa Shakti does. My own Maya is creating problems for myself. Just as my own sleep creates nightmarish dreams for myself, as long as I don't use the power of discrimination to get me out of the bondage of delusion. Thank you. Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Dr. Rekha. I'm tempted to ask you a question or anybody else in this group. You may unmute and answer this question. Dr. Rekha was describing how all this world came into being. Now, all of us, we have to acknowledge as students of Vedanta, we are the Paramarthika Jiva. And as Paramarthika Jiva, I have a unique Shakti called the Maya Shakti. And that Maya Shakti is able to create a body for me, and it is able to create the world for me. Just like in all of us, when we dream, we have that Nidra Shakti which can create a dream body for me and can create a dream world for myself. But the problem in both these situations is I forget that I am the creator and I think I am the creature. So therefore, there are two levels of reality. Now, my question to Dr. Viveka and to anybody who can answer is, in newer Vedanta, in post-Shankara Vedanta, this is given a new term. What is this term called? In fact, in the next class, I would like to discuss a little more. We have discussed this when we were speaking about in Mandukya Karika. Right in the beginning, I have spoken about this. There also, we spoke about Pratibhasika, Vyavahara, and Paramarthika. There we said there is something called Eka Jiva Vada. Eka Jiva Vada, where we have clubbed Pratibhasika and Paramarthika as both as unreal. Can anybody answer this question? What is this thing called? This is called Drik, Drishya, Viveka. I'm sorry, it is called Drishti Srishti Vada. It is called Drishti Srishti Vada. So that means in Srishti Drishti Vada, there is an Ishvara Srishti which I'm able to see. In Drishti Srishti Vada, I project a world, therefore I see. We will discuss this in the next class. Our next speaker will be Shamala. Shamala, please.
Hari Om. The 36th verse goes like this. Jivodhistachidabhasaha bhavid bhokta hi karma krit bhogyarupamidam sarvam jagat syadbhuta bhautikam. Even this verse also explains about Vyavaharika Jiva. Next slide, please. So, till now, what has happened? I, the Paramarthika Jiva, as explained in the 35th verse, has forgotten my nature, and I have come to this universe as Vyavaharika Jiva. And what is this universe? My own projection. Therefore, it is my own bigger dream, Vyavaharika dream. Therefore, the author says Jivaha. Jivaha is the Vyavaharika Jiva, the confused Jiva who has forgotten the higher Paramarthika nature. Who is he? Dhista Chidabhasaha. He is none other than the Chidabhasa, the consciousness reflected in the mind. Who has created the mind? I myself have projected the mind, and I myself have lent the Chidabhasa, and I have come down as it were, and I have taken an avatara in this dream as this Vyavaharika Jivaha. And I have forgotten my Paramarthika Jiva status. That is the greatest tragedy. And then what does he become? Explained in the next slide. Karmakrit Bhavati. Once I have taken avatara in this Vyavaharika Prapancha, I become a Karta, associated with the body-mind complex. Karmakrit Bhavati. Okay, it is good only being a Karta. I can do a lot of things because I don't have any other work to do. I can keep on doing things. But the problem is, whatever I do produces punyam and papam. And after several days or weeks or months or after several janmas, these punyam and papam attack me, catches me unawares. Therefore, this I, the Karta, am becoming a Bhokta, suffering consequences of some karma which I have done in some past janma. Because when certain pain comes, I don't think I have done any such papam in this janma. But Vyavaharika Jiva cannot escape his past, and therefore Bhoktacha Bhavati. Next slide, please. And the dream cannot be put an end by any other method except waking up. Therefore, as long as I refuse to wake up, and keep on doing more prayashchitam, more nadi josyam, more astrologer, more numerologist, more this and that, I am not going to put an end, because the karmas have been done in countless number of janmas and therefore no way out. Vyavaharika Jiva's biography generally will be a tragedy. Even if everything is going well for him, when they are all taken away, it is a future tragedy. If things are terrible now, it is a present tragedy. There is only one solution. Immediately, Vyavaharika Jiva says he wants to try other methods. Go, try and come. Parikshalokan karmachitan brahmanaha nirvedam ayat. It is a call for you to honestly examine every possible gain from karma, see their limitations, and develop deep dispassion. Next slide, please. The second line in the verse, Bhogya Rupam Idam Sarvam Jagat. For his bhoktrutvam, for enjoying sukham and dukkham, some medium is required. My punya papa cannot directly give me pleasure and pain. They require a medium to give pleasure and pain. And what is that medium? The universe serves as that medium through situations like summer, winter, mosquitoes, or even family members. We have to go through it. So, idam sarvam jagat bhogya rupam is an object of enjoyment consisting of what? Bhuta bhautikam. The world consists of the panchabhutani and their products. That is also what? Within the dream. So, Bhuta Bhautikam Jagat also is within the dream. Shariram also within dream. Chidabhasa also is within dream. And I, the Paramarthika Jiva, has chosen to identify with my inferior Chidabhasa version. So, Paramarthananda Swamiji jokingly says, Padu maname padu, means you have to suffer. Jagat syad bhuta bhautikam. Hari Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Thank you very much, Shamala. That was a very nice, clear presentation of a very nice verse with beautiful slides. If you go back to what Shamala had to say, the Paramarthika Jiva, that is the original consciousness, as explained in the earlier by Dr. Viveka, gets bored and then projects a body for itself like we do in the dream and projects a world. Very difficult to believe that I am responsible for this world and I am the creator of this world. Now, this whole understanding is an offshoot of Vedanta called Drishti Srishti Vada. Extremely difficult to believe, but it is a proven, just like it's very much similar to quantum physics. It is something proven to be true, but it is very difficult to understand from reality itself. Now we will have Dr. Anupama asking us a few questions to see how we have understood this aspect of Drik, Drishya, Viveka. Dr. Anupama, please.
Thank you, sir. Based on what we have just learned, a few questions. Please fill in these blanks with the most appropriate answer. The Paramarthika Jiva with what Shakti projects which Jiva and which Prapancha?
The Paramarthika Jiva with Maya Shakti, with the Vikshepa Shakti of Maya, projects Jiva number 2, that is the Vyavahara Jiva, along with the Vyavahara Prapancha.
That's right. Vyavaharika Jiva in Swapna Avastha with what Shakti projects which Jiva and which Prapancha?
The Vyavaharika Jiva in Swapna Avastha with Nidra Shakti projects the Jiva number 3, that is what is called the Pratibhasika Jiva, and creates the Pratibhasika Prapancha.
What is the meaning of Pratibhasika?
Pratibhasika means
projection of the mind.
okay.
It's something imaginary,
Yeah.
something subjective. The word
Pratibhasika, is it also called reflection? Reflected thing is also called pratibimba. Okay, pratibimba is reflection. Right. Please proceed.
something imaginative.
Yeah.
Word avachedyam refers to which jiva?
Avachedyam refers to the jiva number 1, the Paramarthika Jiva, which is seemingly limited.
On waking up from sleep, 3 things resolve. What are they?
On waking up from sleep, the dream resolves, the dream body and the dream world resolve.
3 things. The Pratibhasika Chidabhasa,
Okay.
the Pratibhasika Shariram,
Yeah.
Pratibhasika Prapancha.
Okay. The dream body, and the dream world. The dreamer. Okay.
The word aham in Aham Brahmasmi refers to which jiva?
Jiva number 1, the Paramarthika Jiva.
That's right.
Please go through the answers once again.
The Paramarthika Jiva with the Vikshepa Shakti of Maya projects Jiva 2, that is the Vyavaharika Jiva, along with the Vyavaharika Prapancha. And this Vyavaharika Jiva in Swapna Avastha with Nidra Shakti projects the Pratibhasika Jiva, which is called Jiva 3, along with Pratibhasika Prapancha. The word Avachedyam here refers to the Paramarthika Jiva 1. On waking up from sleep, all the 3, the Pratibhasika Shariram, Chidabhasa, and Pratibhasika Prapancha resolve. The word Aham in Aham Brahmasmi refers to the Paramarthika Jiva 1. So, just fill in the blanks, okay? This is a flow of thoughts. Jiva 3 is Pratibhasika.
Jiva 3 is a Pratibhasika Chidabhasa with Pratibhasika Shariram.
That's right. Jiva 2 is?
Vyavahara Chidabhasa with Vyavahara Shariram.
And Jiva 1 is Paramarthika?
Is Paramarthika Jiva, but there is no Paramarthika Prapancha.
Is there Paramarthika Chidabhasa?
No.
That's right. That's all. Yeah. Next.
Please explain.
Yeah. So we know that Jiva 3 is a combination of Pratibhasika Shariram and Pratibhasika Chidabhasa. Jiva 2 has its own Vyavaharika Shariram and Vyavaharika Chidabhasa. Whereas Jiva 1 is Advaitam Brahman without any associated Shariram or Prapancha. That's why Advaitam.
Jiva 1 is Paramarthika.
Yeah. If Paramarthika Jiva is Advaita, how do we think we can experience it?
Please proceed.
Is it not possible? Choose the best. I wanted the experience in inverted commas, which never came.
All right.
Is it not possible to experience it at all? Do we experience it in Shushupti Avastha? Do we experience it by objectifying this Jiva 1 or by remaining without thoughts, or is it all of the above?
The nearest experience possible is in deep sleep. So the answer should be number 2 in Shushupti Avastha.
That's right. So when we have explained ourselves as a composite of 3 jivas, we know that both Vyavaharika, Pratibhasika, Sharira, Prapancha are resolved. That means Jiva 2 and 3 are not there in Shushupti. So what remains has to be Jiva 1. And therefore we are one with our Swarupa as in Shushupti.
Tadeko Vashishta Shiva Kevaloham. That is Dasha Shloki.
Yes. Shushuptau Nirastat. Okay. I, the original consciousness, am limitless Brahman. But how do I know this? Is it by Nirvikalpaka Samadhi, by getting into close association with Jnanis, by becoming a sadhana chatushtaya sampanna? Is it by Mahavakya Vichara, or by adequate mastery of mind and sense organs.
Only by Mahavakya Vichara.
That's right. So we've had this in the verse we studied today. Tattvam asi ityati vakyam jaguhu. Jaguhu means is revealed. So it's only the Mahavakyas that reveal our Brahmatvam. So in the Mahavakya Tattvamasi, Lakshyartha of Tvam is what? Jiva 1, 2, or 3?
The word Lakshyartha means the implied meaning.
Yes.
So the implied meaning of me in the Mahavakya should be is Jiva 1.
That's right, the Paramarthika Jiva. So that's all. Okay. Tasmin jivatvam aropat brahmatvam tu swabhavataha. Tasmin means upon Jiva 1, the Paramarthika Jiva. Jivatvam, that means Jiva 2, the Vyavaharika Jiva. Aropat means is being superimposed. Now, why does this happen? Is it because Jiva 1 and 2 are very similar? Or because Jiva 2 being Vastavam conceals Jiva 1? Or is it because of the proximity of the original consciousness and reflected consciousness? Is it because Jivatvam is free of samsara? Or is it none of the above?
It should be, I think, 3, because of the proximity of the original consciousness and the reflected consciousness, like the crystal and the flower example.
That's right. Anyonya Adhyasa. As Vyavaharika Jivas, we forget our Swabhavika Paramarthika Jiva status. Why is this tragic? Is it because we start fearing mortality? Is it because karma krit bhavati, we become kartas? Is it because we accumulate punya papas? Or we are bewildered by the unpredictable prarabdha? Bhokta cha bhavati, do we become bhoktas? Or is it because all of the above?
Give me a moment to answer this. In so many of the verses it comes that we go through all these classes. And in these classes, if somehow you have got it, you have got it. If you have not got it, you have missed very much indeed. So the answer here should be all of the above. Please answer them.
Yes, it's the same thing. As a Paramarthika Jiva, we are Purna. There is no fear of mortality. And fear of mortality is the fear of limitation and insecurity that plagues our lives. Then, being incomplete, we have desires, we want to do more and more to achieve more and more, and we become kartas. But in the process of doing karma with motive to get something, to get punyas, we accumulate punya papa, which only becomes fuel for punarjanma. And with every janma comes a package of prarabdha, which can be prabhala durlabha. If it is prabhala, we are really banged around by unseen forces and we cannot even explain our situation. Ultimately, we become bhoktas of our prarabdha, unhelpable bhoktas. So the answer is all of the above.
Can I ask you a question?
Please.
All this can also be given in one phrase.
Samsara, Ajnana, Avidya.
We began our whole Drik, Drishya, Viveka with that, and we concluded with Vidyate Hridaya Granthi.
Yeah.
So the answer would be Hridaya Granthi. Because of Avidya, Hridaya Granthi is Avidya Kamakar. Thank you very much. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Anupama ma'am, for that very thought-provoking quiz, especially of the 3 jivas which seemingly exist within us. Thanks to all the speakers for bringing forth meanings contained in these 4 verses today. From the next Monday onwards, that is from the 14th July, our sir is going to begin a new series which is titled Mananam sessions. So until now, we have been doing Shravanam, and of course, we have been doing Mananam and Nididhyasanam also. But this series will specifically focus on Mananam so we can clear any doubts that we have. And from Gnana, we can go to Gnana Nishtha. We will be beginning first with an introduction to the Kathopanishad. I invite all of you to continue and please participate in this new Mananam series. With that, we conclude today's class by chanting our Shanti Patha. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Thank you.